Okay, so welcome to our first day of our painting unit, right? We did a little bit of painting last week, but that was more color related. And we're kind of continuing that idea of color through this week, okay? So we're doing color and painting, and we're gonna associate colors with feelings or emotions. So the first activity that we're gonna do that kind of helps us get into that frame of reference, what I want you to do is I want you to take your shoulders. I want you to relax them. Okay, just relax them. Sit up and relax your shoulders. Relax your body. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay, just feel relaxed and calm. And I'm going to say a color name, and you're going to have like an immediate response to it. Okay, so don't think about it too much. Like what shows up in your mind, or what feeling, what emotional or response are you giving to that color? What emotion comes to mind when you see or think of that color? Okay, because you'll be thinking of it in your brain. Okay, those of you who are online, make sure you respond through the chat box. Okay. Alrighty, first color. You guys ready? You relaxed? Your eyes closed? Okay, first color, red. Okay, what's your immediate response to red? Okay, I'm getting angry, angry, anger, mad, angry. Lots of anger. What about in person? What do you guys think? Blood. Romance. Oh, interesting. Yes. Flames. Yes. Fire. Okay, so these are kind of really strong reactive emotions and things, aren't they? They're like, they stand out really strong, right? Okay, close your eyes. Oh, death. Okay. But I mean, that is actually a really common response because of that reaction to blood, right? Death. It may seem really dark, but it's actually a really common thing in paintings. It's a common theme to associate red with death. Okay, so what was that? Black is also associated with death. Yes. Okay, I need you all to close your eyes again. Relax your shoulders. I'm going to tell you another color to think about. Okay, the next color is blue. Dismal. What is that? I don't know what that is. Okay, what is the emotional response? Sad. Sad. I'm getting a lot of nervous in the chat box. Yes. Water or ice. Ooh, so like cool or cold things. Okay, like what's the emotional response? Yeah. Calm. So cool colors actually are pretty calming. Yes. Okay. Close your eyes again. Yes, Tommy. I still can't hear you. I'm so sorry. Juice world. Interesting. Why does it make you think of that? Because. Well, maybe it's associated with the colors of the signage. You know, if you envision the colors, the signs or the branding might be blue. Okay, let's close our eyes. Relax our shoulders. Okay, now the color is purple. Open your eyes. What are you thinking of? Yes, Tommy. Oh, scared? Ooh, that's a good one. Scared, darkness. Yeah. Motivation. Interesting. Grapes. Yes, I like this. Scary, nervous or scared, scary. I'm getting in the chat box right now. Calm. So one of the things that artists will try to convey with purple is mystery. Does purple make you think of mystery? Might also make you think of royalty, because royalty often wore purple. Okay, close your eyes. Ooh, someone says confidence. Okay, close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Okay. Green. Disgust. That's interesting. Yes, go ahead. Forest. Grass. Oh, like an enchanted forest. I like that. Brianna. Beauty. Oh, nice. My Xbox I love that. Xbox. Also, we're getting calm. We're getting happy. Gross or nature. Isn't that interesting that we have it? Some people are saying it's either gross or nature, which I think has to do with the type of green. So if you look up at the color wheel, or if you're not in person, you can kind of imagine a green that is closer to blue, and that would maybe make you think of like a calming green. But if it's a green that's closer to yellow, so like a lime green, that would be more of like a disgusting color of green, maybe a little bit, right? Because it's kind of got a little more yellow in it. Okay, awesome, awesome. What we're going to do next is we're going to take a look at a PowerPoint, okay? And we're going to talk about color and a couple more vocab words that have to do with color, okay? Uh-oh, what happened? What did you say? What's going on over there? Okay. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take a look at color in painting. Unfortunately, there's something going on with my screen that is not allowing me to share it as like a full screen view. I'm not sure why that is, but we're going to just look through this PowerPoint real quick, and we're going to talk about some new terms for color that we're going to talk about here. So remember last week we talked about warm colors, and if you look at these warm colors, that you can tell they're super energizing, right? They're very bright. They have a very energetic, right? So what I want you to think about here is, okay, warm colors can convey anger or happiness or cheerfulness or whatever else, which generally are really energetic emotions, right? Maybe like think about warm colors as being like the caffeine of colors. And then we have cool colors, which are more relaxing or calming colors, right? And the emotions associated with those colors are less energetic emotions, right? They are calmer emotions. So when you think about what you want to paint for this next project, think about, okay, what am I trying to get across? What kind of colors will convey those emotions, okay? So there's a few more vocabulary words that we're going to talk about here. This one is the first one we're going to talk about, okay? So we already talked about warm and cool and primaries and secondaries and tertiaries and all that stuff last week. But we're introducing a couple more vocab terms here. So the first one is complementary colors. So can anyone tell me in the chat box or in person what a complementary color is? Yes. Yeah, so that's actually a really good way of putting it. It's the color across from the another color on the color wheel. And if you mix the two together, you get brown. So yeah, that's actually really an excellent way of thinking about it. So yellow and purple are complements. Green and red are complements, and blue and orange are complements. So you can think about it in terms of one color that doesn't include either of the other colors, right? So you have your one color, and then the two other primaries mixed together are usually the complement, right? So you can do that with tertiaries as well. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of an activity here where I want you to stare at this square, just like stare at it, don't blink, and don't move your eyes. Ready, set, start. Okay, as you're staring at it, when I tell you to take your eyes off of it, I want you to look for it. There's going to be a ghost image of it, right? There's going to be a rectangle that shows up in your field of vision, and that rectangle will be a certain color. I want you to pay attention to what color that ghost of the square is when you move it. When you move your eyes, okay? Ready? Okay, move your eye. What color do you see? You should, green, okay. Yeah, do it one more time. Do it one more time. Stare at it. Okay, people at home are seeing it. It's a little harder to see here on the screen because that blue isn't white, it's almost a purpley blue, but stare, 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 stare. You see the yellow? Yeah, it's like a yellowish or an orange because Okay, so
I'm so dumb.
okay.
Wait, what? You repeat it.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is an example of how complements work. So if you look at this, you'll see if you stare at this blue square, and this will work for all of the complementary colors. You'll stare at the blue for a long period of time. You will, in your field of vision, you'll see an orange or yellowish square, yellow-orange, because they're complements. Blue and orange are complements. And what happens with your eyes is that different photoreceptors in your eyes work on seeing different colors, okay? And so when you're staring at blue, it's only using one set of those photoreceptors. And so the other photoreceptors are not as active. And so when you move away, you have that photoreceptor that's really fatigued from seeing the blue. So those other two photoreceptors become active, and that's why you end up seeing the orange. Yes.
I think it is like because it's on like I did it on my computer and I saw orange, but when I saw it on there it was yellow. I think it's
Yeah, because it's closer to purple. Yeah. Go ahead.
So when I was looking at it, right, and I kept on blinking, but then I was looking at the roof. I thought it was reflection at first because of the sun. And then I kept on looking at it, and
Yeah, it goes away after a minute. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at this slide here. These are complementary colors, right? And it's a little harder to see up on the board, but if you're on your computer right now, you should be able to see this pretty well. Those colors start to vibrate and do funny things with your eyes. You notice that? If you stare at them, they'll start to kind of like vibrate a little bit or kind of go back and forth like this. And that's because they're complementary colors. So complements are used in painting to get certain messages across, like to draw the eye in. If you had, let's say, a very purple painting and then you had some yellow in it, of course, that's where the eye is going to go because they're complements, right? The next piece of vocabulary that I want you guys to know is analogous colors. So analogous colors are color schemes that are three colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So if you look up here, you can see we've got red, orange, orange, and yellow, yellow, orange next to each other on the color wheel right here. So that would be an analogous color scheme. Can anybody tell me, like in the chat box or in person, can you tell me why someone might want to use an analogous color scheme? Yes. Yeah, it's like harmonious. Yeah. Yeah, you could blend from one color to the other really well. That's really good. You'll notice this a lot with the branding. Like if you see branding for like McDonald's or other things like that, most of the time branding has analogous color schemes, which is kind of interesting. Alrighty. This is these are the last three vocab words you'll need to know for now. And we talked about how color and value go hand in hand. So there are some vocab words that go along with that. Okay, so we've been talking about pure color, like just red, yellow, blue, green, etc. But we haven't been talking about like dark red or pink or dark blue. So these are the words you would use to get to that place, right? So we have our pure color right here. So let's say it's just blue. If you add white to that pure color, it's called a tint. If you add gray to that pure color, you get what's called a tone. And then if you add black to that pure color, you get what's called a shade. Okay, so if you get a tone is going to be kind of a dulled down version of the color that's slightly darker. And then of course the shade would be a lot darker. Okay, that's the difference between a tone and a shade. Alrighty. Questions about that? Okay, Wednesday's autonomous assignment, you will be, whoopsie. Sorry, I need to get rid of this chat box. Okay, Wednesday's autonomous assignment, there will be a vocab quiz again. Make sure you read the assignment carefully before taking the quiz. Yes, Tommy. the one that we did on Thursday and Friday. Oh, no, it's not a primary. It's a, no, it's not a secondary. Supportive. Thank you. I couldn't remember which, the last one. So supportive. So the last kind of activity we're going to do here is we're going to take that knowledge that we gained from like, oh, the experience of feeling what those colors feel, make us, how those colors make us feel. And then we're going to kind of transfer that knowledge onto art that famous artists have made. Okay, so when I pull up these paintings, I want you in the chat box or in person, I want you to tell me, A, what kind of color scheme is going on here, and B, what kind of feeling does that color scheme get across? Okay, so this is Candy Wiley. We look at this. What kind of a color scheme is it going on there? What was that? I think he's got blonde hair. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. It's really vibrant. It's a vibrant color scheme. And what kind of feelings are you getting from this? How does it make you feel? Yes. Looks like he has a problem. Like he did something wrong. Oh, he's got a problem with you. Yeah, I can see that. I had someone from last class who said, oh, that he looks suspicious. Side eye, yeah. Okay, someone in the chat said vibrant and he's confident. Ooh, I like that. Okay, we're gonna look at another one now. What about this one? Leonardo da Vinci. Yes. Yeah, you can see here we've got blue-ish and orange-ish, right? So it's complementary. Yeah. There's a lot of cool colors going on. Do you guys remember? Yeah, go ahead. Lots of dark colors. So darker colors, it seems really proper. I'm getting in the chat box. Peaceful. Yes. Blended. Yeah, you've got really good blending going on with this. And when I look at it, do you remember the vocab that we learned last week for colors that are all three primaries mixed together? Yeah, Brianna. Earth tones. Yes, earth tones. There's a lot of earth tones in this one. Okay, do you know why? Any ideas as to why? One of the reasons is because really bright pigments were not available at the time. So they only had like rocks and dirt and other things that they could make pigments out of. Okay, whoops, let's look at this one. Okay, what are you noticing from this? Yeah. Yeah. Tommy. Well, it's interesting because you have like the orange that's making you think of like the outside world as being kind of scary. And then you have this person who is like screaming, but like in a cool tone where they are. So it's giving this really evocative, like emotive response. Yes.
The colors aren't as blended, kind of like lines more.
Yeah, they're like color fields rather than like blended colors. Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, it looks like there are some like elements of realism mixed with elements of abstraction. Okay, so when we look, I've got people saying shocked or nervous, scared. Okay, let's move on to this one. How does this one make you feel? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, the colors are super cool. Oh, mysterious. I like that. Yeah. There's a lot of blue in this one. And you know what's really, oh, sad. That's another one. You know what's really interesting when you look at this? If you're viewing this on your computer screen, you can probably see this better than those of you who are in person, but there are these little dots of orange and yellow along this line of the city, which are complements to the blue and the purplish colors. And so it's interesting because even though they're so tiny, they're still drawing our eye in because of that vibration of color. Blue and lonely. I got in the chat box. Good. Okay, what about this one? You know, people pay a lot of money for that one. Oh yeah. Go. Okay, don't shout out, Tommy. Okay, go ahead.
I think like it's more of a simple kind of like idea, and it's like the cool colors, and then the red just like sticks out because the contrast.
Yeah, you've got the color that contrasts with it. Go ahead. Yeah, doesn't it kind of almost read like a tunnel now that if it didn't have red at the end, it might have just read as like, oh, just some squares, which some people may look at it and see that, but it also does give that kind of dimension to it that you're talking about, which is pretty cool. Okay. This is Joseph Albers, by the way. He's our artist of the week. And Joseph Albers, he was a color theorist. So he studied color as a profession and taught about it. And the thing that is very interesting about his style of teaching about color is that, and we've been trying to adopt it in this class this year, is that experimentation with color mixing is how you learn about color. That was his big thing, is like, you could talk about color all you want, but actually mixing colors is what helps you learn which colors mix other colors and which colors go together. Okay, what about this one? Henri Matisse. What kind of feelings are you getting from this one? Yes, go ahead. It's kind of weird. It's pretty busy, isn't it? Yes, Tommy. It's too crowded. It's bothering you. It's very chaotic, isn't it? School vibes. I like that. Overlapping things. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just say it's kind of like fun.
It's
Kind of
yeah.
Like, I mean, if someone has OCD, this would not be at all, but it's, yeah, it's fun colors.
It makes me think about like a circus or something else like that, right? Okay, there's one more that I want to show you guys. There's a bunch, but we'll look at more of them tomorrow. It's just kind of a beginning activity for the class. But why is this doing this? Come on, PowerPoint, please work for me. Okay, I wanted to show you this one because it's very topical. Okay, we have this woman. Her name is Angelica Crosby, and she is, I actually knew her from school. We went to school together, and she's a pretty well-known contemporary artist now. And you know, her work's all in museums and all sorts of stuff. And you can see here that she's using really interesting color combinations, like bright colors next to kind of earth tone colors. But I wanted to show you this picture here because it really has a lot to do with what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And it has to do with how color gets emotion across and what messages color sends. So when you look at this picture of Breonna Taylor that she painted, you'll notice the background is purple, right? And purple, we talked about this earlier, purple conveys mystery or royalty. And in this instance, I think that's what she's trying to convey. The importance of the individual person, like each person should be treated well and like royalty. And then when you look at her body, the color of her skin is very warm, right? It's very warm, which draws our eyes to Breonna's actual portrait and her face. And then her dress is blue, right? Which is cool, which makes us think of sadness at what happened to her. Yes, Tommy. Yes, there's photographs. All of her dress in the background have transfers of photographs. Yes. I know we're almost out of time. I do know. Yes.
I think it is kind of like, it's like kind of like a sadder kind of thing. Also, I really just like a text here. It says, sometimes you gotta fall before you fly. So I feel like that was kind of like this was, like, I don't know. I feel like this was more kind of sad, but yet, like, it was more of like a sad kind of feeling, but yet it was not shown as that at first. I don't know.
Yeah, it takes some examination. Yes. Yeah, I love that. And if you look over here, actually, if you examine this photo of this painting really carefully, you guys still have 2 minutes, okay? I'm keeping track of time. If you observe this very carefully, you'll notice that this texture in the background is actually photographs, right? And on her dress, it's actually photographs as well. And back here is a photo of her and her family members and this bear that her mom gave her or her dad gave her. There's a lot of symbolism in this. And the color is a really important aspect of that. Okay, so tomorrow, come ready to think about color and emotion, write about it, and paint about it. Those of you who are on Zoom, you can head out now. It's good to see you. Have a good day. Yes.
So for the breakout quizzes you last week, I got like a few of them right. and-
Yeah, so I have to adjust them
Oh,
because what
okay.
happened is that it graded them based off of